Namaste, JVNs. Myself, JVN Dr. Barkha Khurana. Today we'll be discussing about deformities of foot, both in children and adults. This is a part of your biomechanics and kinesiology, which is important for BPT fourth semester, DPT fourth semester, and DPT plus BPT fourth semester. So let us continue with the deformities. See, whenever a patient comes to you, either a small kid or adult, they come with a deformity, and the guardians or the parents of child says that he's not able to walk properly, he's having some problem while walking. So we need to examine it properly, and this is very much important in biomechanics because the whole of the biomechanics is altered because of any of the deformities of foot. And adults come with some deformity and they'll say they are having pain, they are not able to put on weight on the foot. So let's start with examination childhood. See, first of all, we will check for any kind of visible deformity like CTVZ, congenital talipes equinovarus, which is also known as club foot. This is very much obvious and we can see that. Then we will check for in-toeing like the child will not walk with straight feet. The toes are inwards in this way. He will walk in this way. So, but sometimes these cases resolve by the age of 6, and this condition is known as pigeon toe. Then we'll also go for checking whether the toes are, the great toe is longer than the other ones or whatever. Then we'll go, see for any kind of bursitis, cuneiform exostosis. Is there any ganglion present on the dorsal aspect? We'll look for bunion in adults. Bunion formation is like in case of hallux valgus. We'll discuss it later. There is a thickening of the skin leading to bunion. Then there is thickening of great toe, which is known as hallux rigidus. This condition is due to osteoarthritis. Then we'll check for claw toes. Claw toes is just anomalous to your claw hand. The toes are completely flexed in this way. Then pes cavus is there. That means there is exaggerated arches. Then hammer toe deformity is there, which is because of hallux valgus. We'll examine the patient while standing also, there because we'll come to know whether it is flat foot or um, pes cavus. We'll check for eversion or pronation of foot, and this is common in pes planus or peroneal spastic flat foot. We'll also check for supination, which may be due to pes cavus or painful lesion. We'll also check for slope of the heels, whether it is inverted or everted, as in case of pes cavus. Then we'll check for tenderness under the forefoot, at the sole. That can be a result of rheumatoid arthritis, plantar fasciitis, pes cavus, pes planus in case of gout. Now in hallux valgus, what will be, it is very much common in the females who wear pointed shoes. The toe, great toe gets inverted. It's leading to bunion formation. There is tenderness on the dorsal surface of the joint. We'll also examine the footwear also because if it has a very hard sole, the patient is unable to walk. We'll check for footprints. How we'll do that? We'll either take ink, we'll ask the patient to dip the foot on that and walk. Similarly, as we do when we walk on with wet feet. So that way we'll take the footprints and we'll come to know whether it's a case of pes planus or pes cavus. Then we'll check for movements of the foot and compare with the normal ranges. So any restriction will or any painful movement will give us an indication of some problem. Now we come to the deformities which are congenital and acquired. Acquired disorders are dependent on the localization. They can be at ankle, hindfoot, midfoot, forefoot or toes. And acquired is like which are acquired in later life. That could be because of any pathology, rheumatoid arthritis, gout. It can be diabetic foot. In case of poliomyelitis, cerebral palsy. So the ladies wearing high heels, we'll consider this. What happens when they wear high heels and pointed shoes? The grade 2 rotates into pronation so that the nail faces medially, and the sesamoid bones of flexor hallucis brevis are displaced laterally. And prominence of first metatarsal head is due to subluxation of MTP joint. So there is lateral, and what will happen when there is lateral deviation of the hallux or the great toe? That will lead to overcrowding of the lateral toes and sometimes overriding. If this is the great toe, it will move laterally in this way, leading to overriding of the toes in this way. We'll also check for any kind of corns or callus formation, because that is also important cause for pain and problem during walking. Then is a condition flat foot, which is also known as pes planus. There is no loss of normal medial longitudinal arch. I had told you this before also. And the complication of flat foot will be the patient will have pain during walking, long standing, and footwear will wear out very quickly. For to prevent flat foot, we'll give prescribe exercises to the patient. If there's pain, we can give TENS. We can also give fabric foot bath. Then, so this is all in your deformities of foot. We need to assess properly. If you have any doubts regarding this, you can inbox the comment. This is all for this session. And this session is powered digitally by Digital 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women University. Thank you.